2.
Whoa, bells and belts. Yeah, y'all know what time it is. It's time for y'all to sit back, get ready to enjoy the show. I hope y'all have y'all popcorn ready because we got a lot to talk about today. I have Mr. Jason Davis with us. I have Mr. Bro Cephas, aka Joey, with us. And I got my main man right there. He seems to be very, very exhausted today. Mr. Cedric D in the house.
Man,
What's going on with you, Cedric?
y'all know I usually do the freaking the opening intro. I don't got it. I've been chasing a 16-month-old all day, so yeah. But we're gonna do the show like we always do. Good evening, everybody.
Good evening, Nesha. Good evening, Jason. Thanks for hanging out. Hey, Richard, what's up?
What's up,
Oh
everybody?
man. So I hope y'all ready for today's show. Woo! I'm excited for this one. I got some good news for everybody towards the end. Let's go ahead and get the show started. Alrighty.
All right, we're often going with our monthly melee. We got a couple topics that we're gonna talk about. We're gonna dive into a lot of stuff that's going on in professional wrestling. A lot of the hot topics and whatnot, and we're gonna give you our unadulterated, unfiltered opinions on those subjects. We don't know, but we're all gonna find out together, right, Jason?
We're going to find out together. And not only do we want to talk and hear each other's opinions, we want to hear your opinion too. So we want you guys firing off some comments and letting us know what you think about these stories and what you think about what's going on in the world of pro wrestling.
Yeah, we sure do. We want to see those comments, so we can, have a good discussion about today's show. With that being said, what you got on your mind there, Joey?
Oh, what? I'm not prepared. Somebody else put that up. I'll respond, but
absolutely.
I don't have the graphic.
Let's start with the big story of the week, obviously, and the big story of the week this in wrestling, of course, is the whole AEW CM Punk, Jungle Boy, Elite story. Nesha right off the bat firing off. Shots fired from Nesha right away.
Already. Okay.
CM Punk deserved to be fired. We've got our graphic up here. We've got angry President Tony Khan. We've got
That's angry.
Well, apparently that's angry. That's as angry as he gets. So we got the Cowboy. We got the Jungle Boy. And we've got the Elite.
Cowboy, yeah.
And then we've got CM Punk up in the left corner there, and CM Punk, of course, not no surprise to anybody, has been terminated from AEW, and apparently not just because he had an altercation with Jungle Boy, but because he threatened the boss backstage and caused a physical altercation between him and Tony. Apparently Tony almost got crushed by a few TV monitors, and that's the story floating around in the dirt sheets. And so Tony felt threatened, and he felt like his lives were in danger, and for that reason an internal review was conducted, and apparently they decided that he should be terminated.
Okay. We're gonna get to the whole whether we think he we think he should be fired or not, whatever. Here's I'm gonna lead off with this. If a talent is threatening the person that's signing the checks, where in the hell is the damn locker room? Where is anybody that's freaking standing up and saying, "Hey, I don't give a damn who you are. This guy is putting the food on our table. You don't do X, Y, and Z. Where is that at? First off."
Well, all right. So if these rumors are true, I'm gonna paint the picture though. I will play devil's advocate here.
Please do.
One guy in this graphic draws money. The rest of them don't. And he's the guy that got fired. So One guy got hired and became a needle mover for the company. The other guys, again, not big stars in America. And I'm including Kenny Omega in that. He's not a draw in America. He is not. There's no evidence to suggest otherwise.
Okay.
So my thing is, at the end of the day, back in the old days, the guy that's drawing the house, is an important figure. Back in the Hogan era, this kind of shit, first off, coming at the boss, getting up in his face, letting him know the deal, that's nothing new in wrestling. This isn't the first time that happened. And if he's scared by that, boy, he's got another thing to learn in the wrestling business, because people get hot, people get emotional. It's a physical business, and these guys are going to get physical. That's a fact of life. And when you got guys like this, good luck to you, because again, he is a guy that put butts in seats. He sold a ton of tickets for him, and the rest of these guys are not doing that.
Okay, all well and good, but at what point, regardless of where you are in regards to putting butts in seats and whatnot, is like, so you. Is this something you freaking tolerate? Is this a precedent that you freaking set? Granted, I totally agree with the comment that you said. I mean, regard, he's a freaking needle mover, but how much is enough in that aspect? Because it's like all the freaking backstage stuff that's been going on. A lot of it has a common denominator. I mean, it is what it is.
Yeah, but it's not just CM Punk.
But okay.
I know Jason's got something to say about this song.
I know.
Yeah. So I think it's a multi-layer problem.
Yeah.
I think there's a couple of things here. It's a locker room culture. It's an entitled, problematic headliner, and it's a person in charge who doesn't understand the culture of the business he's trying to sort of financially support and sort of work within. It's 1987.
Okay.
And Hulk Hogan tells you not to do a leg drop anywhere in the lower mid card of the and you're on the A show.
Yeah.
You don't drop the leg.
Exactly.
Right? Because if you do, not only are you going home, but you're probably going to get your butt kicked backstage. That's just the reality of it. It's 1996, 97, and Undertaker tells you you're not using real glass. You're not using real glass, because if you do, you're gonna get fired, and when you get backstage, you're gonna get your butt kicked again. And so it's now 2023. The culture is shifting, specifically, especially in AEW. The culture is shifting, and Punk is a little bit lost in time. So Punk is looking at Tony Khan and going, "Why aren't you backing me up on this?" We all sit, because apparently and this is only conjecture, no proof, but apparently during the event that he wanted to use glass in for the TV show Collision, it was the agents that were telling him not to do it. CM Punk apparently just backed up the agents and told him, look, chill out, because Jungle Boy apparently wasn't having it. He was going to go out and use real glass one way or the other. That's what was floating in the dirt sheets before. Who knows? But apparently CM Punk went to bat for them in that context. But then it became personal between the two of them. He's looking at the administration of this company now, and he's saying this is how wrestling is, according to CM Punk, because that's how it was in 86 or 87, and that's how it was in 96, and he feels like it should be that way still. It's clearly not. And so he's a man out of time in a company that doesn't follow traditional wrestling etiquette and traditional wrestling culture. And so it's kind of a multi-layered problem in a lot of ways. It's not as simple as saying Tony Khan is failing as an owner. It's not as simple as to say that CM Punk is just a pain in the ass and causes problems wherever he goes. And it's not as simple as to say that that the guy that left is in the wrong and the people that are still there are clearly right. It's complicated.
Yeah, and here's the thing, and Joey can back me up on this one as well. I kind of the current climate, the current culture in society as well has it definitely leaves a hand to it. It's like when I'm just gonna put it into context. When I joined the Army back in 1995, I was told what to do. I was told what to do, when to do it, and how to do it. And you better not ask why, as to why are we doing it this way, or when, where, or what not. You fast forward 15 years, we have to explain why in regards to every single thing that we tell a subordinate to do. It's that mindset that everything needs to be explained. It's like why everything is questioned. Everything is questioned. But why not? Because this is how it is. Okay, well, why not? So it's like it's a mindset. It's a mindset, and it's I don't know. I mean, it's like
Al Snow actually did a really interesting interview a couple of months ago, and I'm going to go off topic for a second, but I'll come right back. I promise. There's a point to this. Al Snow said that when wrestling became accessible to everybody, meaning people could get into it
easier,
it changed everything.
Yeah.
And so, like, the idea that there was a time when you got trained into wrestling, that the person that trained you was responsible for you being in the business, and that they were also held accountable for your behavior and how you conducted yourself. And then wrestling and the education of wrestling and the ability to get into wrestling became franchised. Like, there's a wrestling school on every corner of every city on every street of every city. There is, and they're like coffee shops and bar. Yeah, they're like coffee shops and barber shops now. Yeah. So with that comes this mentality that everybody gets a gold star for participation, and that everybody should get a chance, right? Now, I'm not saying that people shouldn't be allowed to wrestle on the weekends if they want to. There's nothing wrong with it. I go to my local wrestling, love it. I think it's great. But the truth is that a lot of the people in that locker room in AEW came out of the California independent scene and elsewhere, but also primarily out of that California independent wrestling scene. And they all came from this generation of wrestlers who really didn't have to sort of fight to get into this business. It was just easily acceptable for them. It was easily accessible, easy to get into, and everybody that wanted to, regardless of size, regardless of aptitude, regardless of athleticism, is allowed to take part. And that's where they're coming from.
All right, let me.
Go ahead, man. Up, you hadn't got a chance.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
No, I'm just saying. You got it comes down to this: who is Jack Perry? He's still a nobody. The fact is, he's not done. I mean, we can run down some made up stats like championships and crap like that, but the reality is, he's not a star. And the fact is, when you're at your place in your career way down here, and somebody like that tells you, maybe gives you some advice, the best thing for you to do would probably be to shut up and take some advice, because I guarantee if that was Chris Jericho, he wouldn't have pushed against the grain like that.
Now, I have to say, Punk there are stories about Punk all the way from his early days to now in terms of locker room behavior, etiquette, how he talks to his fellow wrestlers. Some people love him and some people really don't. He definitely has a reputation of being a problem maker back in the locker room, for sure. He can cause issues, and he's probably not approaching the topic or the conversation with these other people in a way that other people like maybe a Bryan Danielson or somebody else would do, maybe, or a Chris Jericho. Maybe he doesn't have the tact that these other people have. Maybe he doesn't have the patience that they have. Can't comment on it because I don't know him personally.
Of course.
But the fact that when I heard this news, that my takeaway from it was, well, that really sucks for anybody else that's coming into that company now. Anybody they hire from this point on, if you're not part of that independent California clique, you're screwed. Because what they've essentially managed to do now is they've essentially all managed to sort of gang up on a headliner that draws and makes money and is valuable to the company. And again, CM Punk, like, his best wrestling days are long behind him, but there's no question that he on the mic, he draws money. He draws money in the controversies he creates with his fellow wrestlers and with some of the backstage drama that he creates. That in itself is a draw as well. But anybody that watched that match with Samoa Joe and felt like that was a flashback to Ring of Honor is just not, like, I mean, the man fell out of a Hurricane Rana. He gets exhausted. He's got no legs under him anymore. He just doesn't have the athleticism to do the style that he wants to wrestle anymore. So he's not going to give them the matches he's looking for. So he has to rely on his mouth. He has to rely on his mic skills, and he has to rely on some of this controversy. It's just unfortunate that this company is going to put value over protecting this clique, for lack of a better term, rather than put business first. And that seems like a bit of a loss, and it doesn't bode well for AEW's future with other hires and bringing in big names. So,
yeah. All right. Well, let me say this here. I'm gonna be like you, Jason. I'm gonna get off topic a little bit, and I'm gonna come back on it. All right. I'm pretty sure Cedric knows who this guy is. Football player named T.O. Nickname was T.O. Real name Terrell Owens.
Mm-hmm.
All right. That's what CM Punk reminds me of. Everywhere he go, there was a problem. Now, that was this old saying. My mom used to tell me this all the time. My mom used to tell me two sayings growing up, two, and they still stick with me to this day. Damn near 50 years old, and still stick with me to this day. One, everybody's not going to lie on you. Two, what's the common denominator in all those situations? Now, what I mean by that is, if you going to all these different places and you're having the same issues, you might want to start taking a look in the mirror. Now, it could be that you might be coming off wrong to people, and you might need to change that. It might be, I don't know, that people don't take your jokes too kindly. Whatever the case is, you know, I'm playing devil's advocate like Joey, but sure, whatever the case is, now you got to start thinking, okay, I got kicked out of this place, that place, this place twice, this place twice. What now? Well, you know, you can't keep saying that it ain't my fault. That's all I'm trying to say. Now you got to sit back and say, okay, if it happened 2 or 3 times, you got to look in the mirror. Now, what are you doing?
All I'm saying is, if I was CM Punk and I gave that kid some advice and he made a smart ass comment to me on TV, I'd beat his ass when he came through the curtain too.
Contract be damned.
Because now he's also messing up his own money.
That's something you don't know. He might be getting paid.
True, you're right. I don't know his financial pockets, but come on.
No. CM Punk ain't hurting.
But yeah. So
and when I brought up T.O., I'm trying to say exceptional talent. CM Punk is an exceptional talent. Yes, his best days are behind him. That's probably why he got so many chances. But come on now.
Yeah. So, all right. I think we beat that horse a little bit too much.
Yeah.
Jason, what else we got?
All right. Another big story that came up this week is Brian Hebner, referee, had some strong words in context to his approval or lack of approval for the AEW and WWE, wrestling in general, referee situation right now, actually, really.
Yeah. And he's retired. He's no longer refereeing.
He is no longer refereeing, yeah.
Okay.
What do you think?
So look in that picture. Who stands out to you?
What's up, Antonio?
Who's the clown? Who's the clown? I'm just saying. Come on. Oh, boy.
Let's go ahead and spit it out, Joey. Go ahead.
All right. So let me go ahead and say, first off, Mike Posey there on the end. Good referee. Nothing bad to say about him. So I would say the same thing about Paul Turner. Some of these guys, I don't even know who they are. Aubrey Edwards, and then the Rick Knox guy who, was like the PWG referee, and they were like, yeah, put him on national TV, whatever. I don't know. Like, I've been saying this about Aubrey Edwards for a long time, that she's it's like she doesn't get it. She doesn't understand what a referee is supposed to do. And the thing is, it's like, and I understand what Brian Hebner said, these people don't understand the art of being a referee. They don't understand what the point of a referee is in wrestling, and they don't know where they should be and where they shouldn't be at the right or wrong time. And I agree with everything he said. It happens on WWE too, where these referees are just interjecting themselves into situations where, there may be commentary and there may be camera work in such a way happening that's painting a picture with the wrestlers. And at the end of the day, sure, the referee's there, but the referee is not part of that story. They may play a role in it. They may be, what?
I was just laughing at that too. Go ahead.
He wasn't even referee. Never mind.
It's in he blaming the family. He blaming the family.
Wow. This one messed
I'm
up.
laughing
Anyway,
at that too.
yeah. So, point is, he's got a point, and if you don't know what your job is, and you don't understand what the point of you is, then you end up doing stuff like that, and then getting put in a match where you stink the joint up, and nobody cares.
Okay.
And it's like, at the end of the day, is anyone watching AEW so they can watch Aubrey Edwards?
Okay. All right. So I'm going. No, since we're doing devil's advocate, let's do this. If your employer is keep telling you good job, keep doing what you're doing, don't change anything you're doing, is she wrong? Or is any referee wrong if they're not being corrected?
Yes.
That's basically what I was getting at in the chat.
Like if your employer is telling you it's not admonishing you or correcting you or anything along those lines, whatnot, and you keep doing what you're doing without correction, where is the fault? Joy. Now I am a loyalist. I'm a traditionalist. I understand the referee's place. Trust me, I do. But in the grand scheme of things, if the person
there is a ref school, Nesha.
It's called wrestling school.
Yeah, so
they get trained too.
In the grand scheme of things, if your employer or the people your employer has got around him to advise him, it's not correcting them, are they actually wrong?
Yes. Because she was trained, because as Brian Hebner was saying, he had a hand in training her, and he did not train her to do that. He trained her to do things, what he feels is the right way, and the way it's been done, and the way for the most part it should be done. And at the same time, it's the same old story. I've seen it a million times in the business. People in those supporting roles like that, to myself included, being a a play-by-play announcer, ring announcer, commentator for 10 years. Mm-hmm. You have people that get tired of that role and then somehow want to interject themselves in to become the star. And I will say that about certain wrestlers too, because let's be honest, not everybody on the show is a star.
Sure.
And that's okay. You can be, you can make a career, and there's still guys doing it. I'm not calling them a jobber, but like there's tons of guys and girls out there who are just not stars, but they play a supporting role. And that's a thing nowadays. It's like, well, I want to be the star.
But are we talking about a wrestling company that's trying to maintain kayfabe? Or are we talking about a wrestling company that's doing the wink, wink, isn't wrestling funny stuff that we're seeing on the indies and now on mainstream TV?
Just for you, Joey.
It's still up to the individual. You go to work for anybody, you book with anybody, whether that be independent or wherever. You come in and do the same job. I worked for tons of different companies, came in, did the job, did what I was asked to do, and did it in the way that I knew how to do it. And that's what it comes down to ultimately. To me, it comes down to she and some of the referees and some of these people want to be part of it. They want to be stars. And that's not your role as a referee. It's
funny though, because there was a time when you'd go to a series of matches, you'd go to an event, and you'd have one comedy wrestler on the event, like a Colt Cabana or something like that. They'd break the fourth wall, and they'd be like, "Oh, we're all in on this, and it's all a work, and blah blah blah." And they'd build their whole match that way. That seems to have sort of bled into everything. Like it's and like there isn't really a comedy match anymore. They're all kind of comedy matches, even if they're dead serious. They're all sort of looking at the audience and going, we want to kill each other. Wink, right? And I think that's permeated into the reffing and permeated into the whole presentation of it.
What is he saying? I don't even understand.
Job of the ref has changed. They used to be part of the role to help with the sell of a match, but like rest of the talent isn't the same. The individual has to have creative liberty to break out of the mode and do something spontaneous. Yes and no on that one. The refs. Enjoy when you get a chance. Drop the link of that Brian Hebner video in the chat, in the comments, so folks can look that up. Because Brian Hebner spells it out as what the role of the referee is.
Canadian Destroyer, pile driver, Canadian Destroyer.
Keep them on task, keep them on time with their cues, whatnot. Because what referee has the earpiece in their ear, and the backstage is talking to him while you're on the freaking show. So like,
yeah.
In that aspect, that's the referee's job. Also become the 1, 2, 3. So the referee's role is defined. So that
they're not really they're not really part of the work, as it were.
No, it's not.
I mean, their job is to do that in the same way that when I went out there to call matches, I preferred, unless I was part of a creative meeting or whatever, I prefer not to know the finishes.
Exactly. Because
I would give you better commentary. I would be able to call it better if it was, spontaneous to me and I knew what was happening. And if you guys want to hear more on this subject about what a job of a referee is, make sure you're with us next Wednesday when we have Wes Adams on here for WWE.
Don't do it like that, Joey.
I'm just saying,
Joey.
Well,
I'd be interested to hear what he thinks about kayfabe and contemporary wrestling and whether it has a role anymore or if it's even possible to bring it back.
I gotta say this here. I'm gonna play devil's advocate as well, just like Cedric.
Damn it! You're not allowed.
But what if what they're being told? Okay, they might be trained by some of the old school referees back in the day, but when they get a job with whatever company, whatever promotion, what if that promotion is now saying, "Do it like this. I want you like this," or whatever the case is.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Because we all get that sometimes on our normal 9-to-5 jobs.
Yeah, exactly.
You might get trained a certain way, but then your boss see what you're doing, and then your boss say, "You know what?
We don't do it like that here. I
like it better like this instead." So you start tweaking what you're doing in a way that you know what I'm saying. So the reason why I'm saying this is because I'm seeing this a lot in a lot of the wrestling promotions. The referees are all in the way. The referees are playing touchy-feely, and I'm not gonna get to all that, but
What's up, Scott? How you doing, buddy?
So it's like, it's kind of dawning on me are they being told to do these things, or are they just not being corrected at all?
But here's the thing in that aspect. I've expressed this in our chat as well, whatnot. Whether it's the referees, whether it's the talent, or whatnot, there's issues like all across the freaking board. Well, I'm speaking AEW right now. There's issues all across the board in regards to things that we as the audience on TV we shouldn't see, but we are. And whether it's a glitch in the matrix or freaking hell freezing over or whatnot, and folks are going to the freaking have a brain fart, whatever it is, there's a lot of stuff that us, the viewer, who's supposed to be suspending the disbelief, and they're literally pulling the curtain right in front of our eyes on TV.
That's what happens when you go from wrestling in a bar to wrestling in front of a 2,000 or 3,000 seat venue on national TV. When they say go to NXT and learn how to work the WWE style, what does everybody here think that means?
Oh, I know what it means.
Yeah, what does it mean? You know what it means, Joey. What does it mean?
You're learning how to work TV,
right?
Literally.
And also how to work the schedule, how to change up your move sets and your package so that you can sustain that grind, right? But a lot of it's about TVs and angles and understanding how to work the hard cam, how to work with the people that have the shoulder cams and where to be when and where and where to look, right? It's all that stuff.
Sure.
Who's teaching these guys in AEW that stuff?
And here's the thing, because they have a multitude of guys who freaking know how to do freaking how to do TV, who've been on TV, and who freaking knows. There's some who are there now. There's some who have been there in the freaking past, and the fact that, despite having all of this talent available to them, it's not translating to the on-screen product.
Because when you hire people that don't actually have any fucking talent, then that's what you get. That's great. Let's hire.
And it's great to have all that experience backstage, but you actually have to listen to them.
That and WWE does waste time and money on bringing in people that have no business teaching anybody, like Mike Quackenbush. But that's another conversation too. Like, oh, let's bring him in as a guest trainer for 2 weeks. Who cares? Like, here's a guy who couldn't really get booked anymore and started his own company who never drew. So there you go. But they sold some DVDs to nerds.
Sure.
Let's make the name of our company a symbol, kind of.
What you against that there, Joey?
Yeah, man. Yeah, they do bring in people that's really questionable to work with their talent and stuff.
Dude.
And most of their producers never worked on WWE, and there's a lot of things are kind of confusing. So
but a lot of this criticism over the last 8 months, 9 months, the gigging, the obvious blading, all of this stuff that AEW has been thrown at AEW. A lot of that's positional stuff. A lot of it's just not being in the right place at the right time with the camera, and just not or just not caring.
I was about to say, if you're laid up in the turnbuckle just doing this right here out in the open,
Joy, read my mind.
There's no camera people that are going to be able to hide that. You're just a dumbass.
Joy, you read my mind, brother. Oh my gosh.
There you go. But again, it's a lot of that's that whole thing of like, we all know what this is, and why do I even bother doing it? Like, why even bother hiding it? Because I'm cutting myself, so I'm just going to lay here and do it.
Yeah, but still, we want the element of surprise, though. You know what I'm saying? We don't want to see you cut yourself.
Apparently, what happened this past week, Dennis Rodman hitting somebody with a freaking guitar. Yeah. Referee turns around, seeing Rodman in the ring with a freaking broken guitar in his hand. And his hands like,
hey, man, and Moxley, I guess, decided he wanted another belt, so he just got one. Cool, man. It was just time to give him a belt again. Cool, man. Good booking, AEW. All
Damn.
Elite what? It ain't wrestling. Anyway.
All right. Well, AEW feeling pretty beat up after the last 40 minutes. So let's move on. Let's share the love with somebody else now a little bit.
Oh my gosh.
Some of the other big news this week was, of course, the historic changing of the guard for the WWE Intercontinental Championship. We had Gunther retain his championship on Raw, now surpassing the Honky Tonk Man, whose record was 454 days. And Gunther has now passed him, assuming he won't defend the title between now and Monday Night Raw next week.
Hey, he can't sing and dance like the Honky Tonk Man.
AEW does need a Band-Aid. Nesh is right, man. We beat the hell out of AEW for about 40 minutes. So what happened to the finesse of the old school? They could bleed and even knew what had happened. Again, you know,
this is a company that had an offer from Bret Hart to produce, and they turned it down.
Right?
Maybe he could have taught them some of his magic. They didn't want to learn, so.
No, and that's the problem. And there's been multiple quotes backstage, and even some of the younger talent have gone on record in interviews and said they're just not listening to these older guys because they don't understand current wrestling. So,
I told you he can't sing and dance like the Honky Tonk Man.
There you go.
Of all time. No. What you mean, Randy Savage, brother? Yeah, the cream of the crop. Yeah.
Well, I think it's already gonna be broken.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a Gunther fan. I have been for a while. I think he stands out on the roster. I think he's doing some great stuff. And if they were gonna put it on somebody, I'm not upset they did it on him. So.
Exactly, and the thing about it is,
and records are meant to be broken.
True, and the thing about it is, let's face it, the Intercontinental Championship wasn't on the verge of purgatory because it was like freaking non-existent, or
it's like the mid '90s.
Yeah, exactly. Mm-hmm. So it was like now the Intercontinental Championship, something to freaking talk about. It's been freaking highlighted. Yeah. When he was on freaking SmackDown, he was bringing back that prestige of the Intercontinental Championship this past week on Raw, and we're gonna talk about this as well.
Yeah.
We're gonna talk about this as well. They did a great job of hyping up that main event. They they went to Gunther, got his comments. They got Gable's comments. They were highlighting the Intercontinental Champions of years past. It was freaking amazing. I loved it. They kept building up to the match itself, the main event of the show. It was a great match, but I'm gonna throw it to Joey. Go for it.
Hold on.
I don't think it was a great match. I'm gonna say I think it was a good match, but I think it was produced terribly and shut and crammed into too little a time. It really just appeared to me that they had a lot planned and then weren't given enough time to get it out there like they wanted. So it seemed like the first half to 2/3 of the match was just moving at a feverish pace. Like there was no selling really. It was just kind of, I take a massive bump, I'm back up. Now we're doing some submission on the ropes and we're doing all this. And it's like, these are good moves and all, but the issue is if that match had went 25 minutes or so and they slowed it down where Chad Gable could do some more selling and stuff.
Play up to Gable's strength.
Yes.
I
think Chad Gable's a great opponent for Gunther.
I get it. And Joey, you might agree with me. You might disagree with me with what I'm about to say or not. We've gone back and forth in regards to like when Sheamus and Gunther had that freaking awesome match and whatnot, that back and forth, hard hitting freaking match and whatnot at a premium live event. They showed it was a freaking hell of a freaking match and whatnot. Yeah. But on a Monday Night Raw, it's like, do you give that level of presentation, or do you dumb it down, for lack of a better word? Do you dumb it down to one, to fit the show, and two, fit the presentation that they're trying to give?
I almost wondered if Gunther's got some kind of injury or nursing something, because it felt like the way it was built and the way the thing was programmed, Gable was bumping like crazy for him and doing most of the movement, and Gunther was sort of wrestling pretty safe and pretty immobile. So I'm almost kind of wondering if we don't find out a couple of weeks from now or sometime in the future, we'll find out that he maybe was hurt. Because he was wrestling, he wasn't wrestling. He didn't have the same movement he usually has. I felt like when I was watching it felt like he was pretty stationary.
I mean, well, he's twice the size of Chad Gable too, so I mean, I can kind of see that.
You got to compensate a little bit, like.
It felt like Gable was bumping like Shawn Michaels all over the ring, though. Like it was a lot, a lot of work. He was working hard.
But I feel like if they had been given a little extra time, he could have really slowed that down and sold some of those bumps a lot better, because he definitely has that ability. Mm-hmm. And I think we're getting to see what Chad Gable could do as a baby face now, which we really haven't gotten to see. And he's got what it takes to be a good baby face, a Ricky Morton style, even because he's smaller, you can get the heat on him, you can get the sympathy on him. Mm-hmm. He's got the talent, but you have to, and Gunther's the right opponent for him, but you got to give him time to get out there and really tell the story and not have him rush through it to get. And then they did slow down like the last few minutes and really try to get through. Yes.
Yeah, we're getting there.
I want to address that too.
We promise you, Caleb. Thank you. We promise.
Yeah. I think Gable's got the pedigree. And I think anytime you have that kind of legitimate pedigree, people are just going to, it's hard not to respect him. Which is a face attribute. So like you're swimming against he's a good performer, so he worked heel fine, but I think he's a natural baby face for sure.
Give him a pay-per-view spot, give him a half hour to work. That'd be a great thing.
But I'll say, back to the topic of Gunther, it's the classic example of a wrestler making a belt as opposed to a belt making a wrestler. And he's put legitimacy on that title, like Cedric said earlier, and we haven't seen that happen in a while. Not just in context of just the Intercontinental belt, but belts in general, especially in the WWE, where they really are treated like and they're handed around.
Absolutely, and I'm a caveat, and I might irk my tag team partner on this one. Where it's like a long title reign. He looks away. a long title reign actually meaning something. It incorporates into the storyline, incorporates onto TV, mm-hmm. and whatnot. So, in the grand scheme of things, Gunther. Let's be honest, Gunther. Excuse me, Gunther. After he drops the Intercontinental title, we'll move on to bigger and better things. As well as the thing, I'm sure that's going to happen.
But even more importantly, whoever picks up that title off him has got shine for like.
Say that one more time. Say that one more time.
Shine. You're gonna have shine for months.
Who beats Gunther is gonna be a freaking made man.
Yeah.
If they wait a minute. I will caveat this because this is WWE, so WWE may put it on the wrong person and whatnot, and they shit the bed with it.
They might waste it.
Exactly, but if done right, you have a great freaking Intercontinental Champion moving forward. Gunther can move on into his eventual place as whether it's World Heavyweight Champion or the Universal Heavyweight Champion, whatever the hell they call the title. So you can make two people in one freaking match if they freaking do it right. But it is what it is. But like you said, that person is a made man. Why? Because Gunther brought back relevancy to that freaking championship.
Absolutely.
So it would, man up. You can disagree all you want, but that was
No, I'm not disagreeing with that part. I'm disagreeing with the long title reign. That's the only part I'm disagreeing about. But I'll leave that alone.
Ah, come on, it's the melee better.
We discussed that a gazillion times already.
No, what exactly?
These long title
And
reigns
this could be
are
gazillion and one because
these long title reigns are stupid. Makes no sense. It ain't going nowhere. It's boring. It's played out. How much are you gonna give me the same thing over and over and over? That's all I'm saying.
All right. Well, while we got a little time, let's get to this Impact 1000th episode.
Let's do that.
Let's
Impact
do it.
1000. Joey, talk us up. Impact 1000. So this is the 1000th episode, or
yeah, in history of Impact Wrestling. So it's a big deal. It's not going to be live. They're taping it, I think, this weekend. It'll be on the following Thursday. So definitely going to try to avoid those spoilers. But you got a lot of big things happening. You got the Team 3D going to reunite.
Joey, press pause real quick. Generic Jobber, you're on my shit list just for that comment alone. Go ahead, Joey.
Anyway, so we got Caleb. Go ahead, drop it in the comments if I'm forgetting stuff. But yeah, you're going to get the reunion of Team 3D on there. We're going to see Devon return to Impact Wrestling, where they are also Hall of Famers. So that's a big deal. We're going to get some exciting matches. We're going to get that big 10-woman knockouts tag team match where we got a couple mystery knockouts that we're going to get to see, but we're getting the return of Awesome Kong and Gail Kim together on the same team. Jordan Grace returning to the company.
And actually,
well.
Joey, I don't know if you know this, but today is actually the anniversary of Gail Kim's signing with TNA back in 2005.
Yeah.
So I love Jason on this freaking
full
show, man.
Circle.
I freaking love Jason.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm gonna go off script. Jason is a freaking wealth of freaking knowledge. It's like a freaking amazing. He can drop these gems like a freaking Jason.
The beautiful people will be there, but Velvet Sky is not going to wrestle. She will be at ringside. Angelina Love will be wrestling on the opposing team to Gail Kim and Awesome Kong.
NWA should let her wrestle. That's all I'm going to say.
I don't think they're holding her back from wrestling. Angelina Love wrestles for NWA too. I don't think Velvet either can or will wrestle. So I think she's retired from the ring, and Madison Rain is working for AEW. So I'd be she could show up. They could let her go do it. Who knows? But they haven't announced that.
That'd be pretty epic if they did.
Yeah, we'll see. I think she's had her battles with injuries too, and kind of is at the tail end of her in-ring career. Sure. But you got a lot of exciting action. Caleb, if you drop into comments, what else are you missing from the 1000 episode? Oh yeah, Tracy Brooks is going to wrestle too. They're doing the tag team match with her and Kazarian.
We're going really old school in TNA.
Yeah. So her and Kazarian are going to team up.
That mid-2000s right there.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, let's be real here, and this is as real as it gets.
Sure.
Only one company started the real women's wrestling revolution, and that was Impact Wrestling.
True.
That you can thank Gail Kim and Awesome Kong and the Beautiful People and ODB and so on and so forth. Well, yeah, one day hopefully we'll see AJ appear in a ring again there, but you never know. Like on this episode, I obviously AJ's not going to be there, but
sure,
could happen again one day. But like I said, I mean, to me, the Knockouts tag match, the history of the Knockouts, that's a big deal to me personally as a wrestling fan, because to me, they are the ones who have held women's wrestling to the highest standard, and they continue to do it while other companies have let it drop right back down to where it was.
And also too, if you look at the timeline, they were running very athletic, very competitive women's matches during the Diva era in WWE. So I mean, in direct competition and direct comparison to what WWE was running at the time.
Yep.
So,
absolutely. And in addition, you got I recently heard Sami Callihan refer to Deonna Purrazzo as the best technical wrestler in the world. Notice, not women's technical wrestler, best technical wrestler in wrestling today. And I have to agree with that. I really think she's going to be in that match too. She's phenomenal. She's one of the best. You got Trinity, the Knockouts champion, will be in the match too. So there's a lot of ladies involved in that.
Excuse me. I'm sorry. I'm looking outside. I'm seeing if hell frozen over because Joey just agreed with something that Sammy Callahan said.
I know. Yeah.
I was like, who are you quoting?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
When he's right, he's right. I got to give the man credit. He called it like he said.
There you go, Joey.
I can't deny that. It's just like how
Sammy Callahan.
You know, I hate bullies, but I have had to give Bully Ray his credit for being very compelling and good on Impact Wrestling.
I didn't even touch on that, Joey. Team 3D coming back and whatnot, and we know how you hate bullies. So we know how you hate bullies. Thank you for that. I appreciate it.
I just had to do it.
Of course, hey, man up! I set you up on that one. I got you.
Man, I'd love to see.
By the way, we just made a short.
Yeah. And I'd love to see Jeff Jarrett come back into for that if they brought him back. Love to see the Truth. Love to see Ken Shamrock come in there. Yeah.
This literally could be a whole nother conversation that we can make it to another show in regards to the different eras of TNA / Impact Wrestling. This could be a whole nother freaking show. So, spoiler alert! Like we're now going to think about it now and see how we can freaking do it.
Yes, Ultimate X, the return of Ultimate X. We're going to get that. We're going to get Feast or Fired. They're doing what they can, and I think they're doing really well. Definitely.
It's a deep history, though. Deep history in that company.
So, but y'all stay tuned because the stuff that Joey loves Impact, and we barely had scratched the surface in the aspect of Impact TNA and whatnot. So y'all stay tuned for that, man. Y'all stay tuned.
Ultimate X is legit. That's a great match, guaranteed. Like that's going to be
very
everything
innovative, man. I think Ultimate X. I'm thinking about Chris Sabin. I'm thinking of freaking Michael Shane. I'm thinking of all those cats.
Kazarian.
Exactly.
Kazarian.
All of those cats. So that could be a show right there. Talking about all the Ultimate X matches and how it freaking evolved. Yeah. So like it takes time to actually go back and appreciate some of the stuff that we have seen as wrestling and seen in wrestling and that we tend to like this gloss over. So yeah.
How many times have they thought Impact was going to die? 21 years it's been.
Dude, exactly. Like,
and they on the way back up.
Exactly. The ups and downs of Impact Wrestling. That's a show right there, Joey.
Yeah, leave it in the comments if you want to see it, Caleb. I know you do, and listen, Caleb, we gonna bring you on the show when we do that because he loves Impact too. He was watching it pretty much every week as well. Big fan too. So yeah, definitely love the history of the company.
But absolutely, and but sometimes we got to take time to appreciate some of the stuff that's being presented. Not only shows but championship belts as well. We can definitely go back and appreciate going back to WWF some of the championships that they have. And man up, if you all haven't checked out on our freaking YouTube channel, first of all, shame on you. But man up dropped his new belt day video on our YouTube channel. But we're gonna do something special right now in that Man Up is gonna show you all his new belt right here live on Bells and Belts. Man Up.
All righty, go ahead and put the spotlight on me. Let me go ahead and get it.
Come on, show us your precious.
It's right here.
Precious, yes, precious.
Yes, this is another big eagle. This thing is heavier than the other two I got. But what makes this one so special, I put my own little spin on it and had it dual plated.
Okay. Now bring that in a little closer. Now, you guys take a look. You see the gold around the majority of gold on the main plate. But if you look at the eagle, take a look at the nickel plating around the eagle. I've been collecting belts for a while. I haven't seen that done. I have not seen that done. But here we have that. Normally when you talk about dual plating, it's reversed in like the eagle is normally normally highlighted in gold. Man Up did something freaking different, and that's the beautiful thing about collecting belts and getting custom belts made. You can truly do it the way you see fit, and this is definitely a different take on this. Man Up, go ahead.
Cedric, that's not TV accurate,
dude. Of course it's not. Of course it's not, because it's custom. I love it. I love it.
Yeah, and that's what I said in the video. That's what I love about this belt collecting hobby. You can do whatever you want to do. I took a regular belt and I said, you know what? I want the eagle to stand out. So I wanted the eagle to be silver. Well, dual plated, whatever. And bam, there you go. I mean, I know it's not showing good because of the light, but if y'all want to actually see what this belt look like, you got to go to our YouTube channel and check it out.
All right. But do this, Jason. Put the spotlight back on him, because Man Up, I'm gonna put you on the spot. I want you to get your you still have the big eagle with the block logo?
Yeah, I had that one right here.
Grab it real quick, because I want to do a side by side comparison on the spot. We didn't talk about this, guys, but you all are getting this live here at Bells and Belts. Okay, so all right, so. Is the one on the left a little bigger than the one on the right?
This one here, the silver one. Well, not silver, but this one is a little bit bigger.
Is it? Because it look like the original one is a little bit bigger.
Nope, this one, and you can look at the side places too and tell that they're a little bit bigger.
Okay, no. I'm looking at, because I'm looking at the main plates right now.
Oh, man,
I know it's a lot of maneuvering.
It's a lot of belt.
That's a lot of belt. Like the one on your right shoulder looks bigger than the one on your left shoulder. Honestly,
no, this one here is bigger.
Okay,
this
okay, one. but even with this view right here, you can see in regards to the eagle that's on his original versus the dual plate on the other. Yeah, exactly.
Let me try and turn this light a little bit.
Okay,
so you don't get too much glare.
Sure,
hopefully that's better.
Okay. Okay. Sure. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Absolutely. So who made you a dual plated?
Well, I get all of my belts from basically Jagu John.
There you go.
Hit him up on Facebook to get you something. And no, I don't do TV accurate. I'm Mr. Non-TV accurate.
I love it. This stuff, Man Up, as you
what?
That's not from the shop zone.
Oh man,
I love it. I love it. With that being said, guys, awesome. It's been an awesome freaking hour, guys.
Yes.
If you all hanging with us, whatnot. I'm almost out of Crown Royal Apple, so that means we're almost at the end of our show. So, but before we go, we got to do. We got to plug everything that we do. For those of you who don't know, we here at Bells and Belts, we have a YouTube page. If you haven't liked and subscribed to us, why not?
What are you doing?
What are you doing with your life?
Yeah, I don't think they know.
There's no excuse.
I don't think they know. So if you don't know, go ahead and get yourself educated. Go ahead and like this video on YouTube and subscribe to what we're doing. Make sure you hit all notifications so that you know when we're freaking going live. And we got a Facebook group, and we're going through some changes on the Facebook group as well, right, Joey?
That's right. Yep, more polls. No, I'm kidding. No, but we're trying to figure out, and we always want the feedback. What do you guys want to see? We're trying to do something a little different.
There is a poll right now, literally in the Facebook group. There is a poll right now in which we are asking you, what do you want to see here at Bells and Bells? And I promise you, if it's within our means, we're gonna make this freaking happen. Man up, we have not forgot about you in the freaking Disco Inferno. We have not forgot, sir.
Oh, no, trust me, I'm working on it.
You've been working on it for the last month and a half, sir.
I haven't told y'all, but I'm working on it.
Hey, in the comments, hey, hashtag Man Up Inferno. We gonna get that trending.
I got the costume over here in my man.
Sounds like I'm gonna have to break out my Photoshop skills.
Exactly. Man Up, hashtag Man Up Inferno, and we go get that trending in the group because Man Up still owe us on that end. So this is just we're trying to do more within the Facebook group as well because you got we hear you. And so we definitely want to get y'all on that. Jason, Champions Belt Club.
Yes. Come hang out with us. Come hang out with us in Champions Belt Club. We got a Friday fantasy poll going on right now. We're going to be running through a tournament with the top 12 greatest NWA World Heavyweight Champions as decided by the members of the group. We've got daily quizzes, daily belt posts, daily wrestling posts, trivia. We got wrestling birthdays. We got all kinds of stuff in there. So come hang out with us. It's a good group, great group of people, really active page. We'd love to have you there. And the best part of it is not only can you catch Bells and Belts podcast in Bells and Belts, you can also watch it streaming live in Champions Belt Club.
Love it. Love it. Awesome. Hey, gentlemen, this has been an awesome freaking show. I freaking enjoy myself. But you know, I'm out of Crown Apple, so we got to wrap this up. Man up, do what you do, baby.
Oh man, I'm glad y'all was here to witness what we had to talk about on this month of wrestling. Y'all, like Cedric said earlier, Joey said earlier, apologize. Y'all come back for us next week. We got a special guest. With that being said, I hope y'all enjoyed the show. I hope all that popcorn is gone. Y'all have yourself a great one.